All right, let's go then.
Back to class, baby.
Let's go, baby.
So I'm going to clean this chart right away, and then I'm going to start the analysis. I think this is about week 14 now. Damn, 14 weeks of consistency. That's crazy. Not a single week closed in loss. That's crazy. That was amazing. Like, bro.
2G, relax. Let's go.
No. So straight to the weekly time frame. Oh shit. EURNZD was a perfect move last week. Perfect move.
Yes,
Like
yes, it was.
literally one of like my best trades in the last few weeks. Let's see how many
How many
pips was that.
pips?
271 with just 20
How
pips.
much? Fucking terrible.
So this is the recent high, right? Again, I'm going to re-emphasize the fact that I am keeping this analysis very basic. All right, so we have the most recent high and the most recent low right now on the weekly level. So it means that if price is going to do anything this week, it may want to return to this level or break above this level. And if it does break above this level, where will it head to? Likely around here. Do you see how I'm streamlining my entries?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
could have easily said we have a support resistance area right here, and I would not be wrong, and I could have just drawn
Yeah.
all of this.
Yeah.
But then it's not, like, it's going to be a lot of noise. Now, if let's say price was to drop back down to this area, will it experience any challenge on its way? Is there any train station where it would have to pick up people or drop off people along the way right here?
Yeah. Around there. Yeah.
See, you see how I'm not so focused on what has happened in the past. I just want to know what's the most recent happening and what effect would it have on the chart. Now I could decide to extend this to the left and you'd see that it's still going to be valid. You see, this is the
Yeah.
essence of paying attention more to the most important things and the most recent things as compared to zooming in so far back on your chart that you have too much noise going on. Now, oh shit, I just deleted that. Now that I'm done with that, what's the next thing I want to do? What's the next line of action? I want to
Go down.
identify what type of trend are we on, an uptrend or a downtrend, to use as further confluence. Now, it is apparent that we are in an uptrend. However, this higher low over here, as I would not say failed, but is yet to create an higher high, right?
Yeah.
So it means that what am I looking out for? A chance that price returns or tries to create an higher high, or the next possible scenario, a situation where price fails to create an higher high, which means that it is going to dump. What should I do about this? I am supposed to prepare. If price decides to create an higher high, what am I going to do about it, and how am I going to make money off that, right? If price decides to dump, say it fails to create an higher high, how can I rightly position myself for that move and make money off it? You understand? So now what should I do? How am I going to go about that? This is the point where I want to zoom in. Are there any major levels or any key price action that I should be aware of on this time frame? Let's see. Let's see. I see this guy. I'm going to adjust that for a bit. Yep. So basically the most should I say the most prominent price action going on right here is this guy, this massive rejection week over here, which is saying, oh, seller steps into this market at this point and they pushed price all the way back down, and then the buyers kind of stepped in aggressively today and it caused a bit of a price jump on the weekly open candle, but that doesn't matter too much for now. Why? It's still very early in the week. It's less than a session into the trading like week and stuff, so I'm not going to get too ahead of myself. I'm just going to drop down to the daily. Why? Because there's nothing too important for me to see on this time frame. So on the daily, what am I seeing? The uptrend remains. However, price started dumping on Thursday and then closed the week on this level right here, which appears to me to be some sort of resistance area in the past, but now acting as though it's a support area. But is it a verified support area at this moment? Hell no, it's not. Why? We don't know if it's going to hold or price is going to tank below it. Do you understand?
Because it got left in limbo.
Yeah,
Kind of thing.
exactly. So now what do I want to do? If price holds above this area, then it means that we are likely going to see that II get created. But if price breaks below this area, let's say it doesn't hold, then we can see that the sellers are still in control of this market, and then we can see price dump further down to this area, right? Now, when price gets to the weekly level, what is going to happen? We don't know, but there are two possibilities in trading, or two major possibilities in trading. It either buys or it sells. If it doesn't do any of those, it's going to range. Now, obviously, we don't plan to trade on a range, so we are going to prepare for the buy side and the sell side. This is the plan. If this area holds, right, during the course of the week, if price dumps all the way to this area in a situation where we see that happen, what are we going to do about this? If this weekly area holds, then it means we won't take more longs towards this area, further hoping to see a creation of an higher high, right?
You want to see it break below that weekly before.
Yeah, if it does break below the weekly level and it holds steady below the weekly level, then we may see price go further down towards this area right here. I hope this is clear so far.
Yep.
All right, so
Yeah,
if the
not predict.
all right, so if this daily level holds, then if it holds strongly, again, I'm saying again, if it holds strongly and steadily, then we can see it continue for a buy at least towards this area and maybe create spike up to create that higher high, and then maybe sellers can now push price down. Don't know, don't care. Basically, we have just 5 days for the week, 5 trading days for this week to go. So I mean the possibility of price, let's say, coming all the way from here towards here and then here, all in 5 days. To be fair, I don't see that happening right now. Why? There's no major catalyst for that to happen as of this moment. Next week we may see that happen based off the fact that we have RBNZ next week, Wednesday, I think. Maybe that can happen for this week, and I think we're going to see more of a steady movement this week rather than radical movements this week. We're going to see more of a steady movement rather than radical. Last week was quite radical, and when that happens, market always tends to want to cool off for a bit before it continues again. So yeah, that's it. If this level holds, we want to take a buy. If it doesn't, then we want to go with the market and sell towards this area, and then wait to see what happens here on this weekly level that we have. You get the plan? All right, so let's see the 4-hour time frame. Is there anything? All right, let's see. The 4-hour looks really bullish. It looks really bullish. It looks absolutely bullish. Let's see, why did price decide to dump on this area? Still far back? No.
What makes you say that? But that's bullish.
Bearish, I mean, sorry, I meant to say bearish. I mean, the recent price action is screaming bearish, but the overall trend is screaming bullish. Look at this. So we may see that retest of the trend line or this weekly level again before price will bounce all the way up.
Yeah.
So yeah, overall trend is bullish, but price action right now is bearish. So we're going to position ourselves to take advantage of both. I think that's pretty much it on EURNZD. If there are further updates, I'm going to update you guys in the chat. I don't see any reasonable setup as of this moment. Price action is yet to align, but then at least we have our plans set already, so we can move on to the next one. The trend right now is still an uptrend. Look at this, right? Higher low, higher high, right? Higher low, higher high. Now it's
Oh, hold on.
created higher low,
Lower,
yet to
okay.
create an higher high.
Yeah, but are you looking at because there's a line of resistance right about that point there.
Yo, we'll figure that out in a minute. But first things first, this is quite like the most recent peak, so I'm going to mark that out. Now I'm doing this. I'm going to try to oversimplify this video again, once again.
Ali, I beg you. I need to get you some fucking headphones. You not got any headphones?
All right. So, like I was saying,
Sorry.
I'm going to try to simplify this video, majorly because of Ali, so you can see that there's a way to simplify your analysis and still get very decent trades, in fact amazing trades, and also for the YouTube community. So I'm going to simplify my analysis tonight, and hopefully everybody makes good use of it, right? So this is the most recent high and this is the most recent low, right? The current trend is an uptrend, and also I pointed out how that we're in an uptrend, right? So it means that price is very likely, based on these two factors as of this moment, going to break above this area to create an higher high. Likely, remember I said likely, I did not say definitely. All right. So now the next thing that I do notice though is this level over here that appears that price has respected for a couple of times, so we have to take note of it. I'm going to change that to the weekly very quickly. Now this particular level looks very valid to me. I mean, look at it right here, and then we had price reacting to it right here as well, and then acted as some sort of support until price broke above it aggressively with this particular bullish engulfing bar right here. And then we see our last week closed with this rejection over here. Now I want to see why exactly price decided to reject on that level, so I'm moving towards the left hand side, and I can see that there's some sort of supply demand level right there. Can you guys see it as well?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
from a
100%.
technical standpoint right now, it's appearing. Now remember, we're still on the weekly time frame. Things can change. When I do my analysis on the weekly time frame, it's just to get the overall mood, or should I say the overall price movements for where a currency pair is likely going to head to for the week. It's not where I find my entries, it's not where I find my exits, it's not where I conclude my analysis, and it's also definitely not where I decide if I'm either going to buy or sell. I just I start my analysis from the weekly time frame to have an holistic form of view for whatever currency pair I'm analyzing. So now this is what I'm currently thinking. I think price is likely going to retest this area that we have here before breaking above this last week's resistance area, and maybe we'll find a retest, and then price trades towards this area, give us some sort of equal highs, right? And then if bears are, let's say, really strong in the market, it could cause price to tumble. However, if let's say the bears aren't strong enough, then it means that we may see price create an higher high. Now this is the first possible scenario, in a situation where the bulls continue to take control or remains in control of price, which obviously last week they did not close in control of price. Look at that. The rejection from the upper side was really massive, and we have to put that into consideration as well. This week over here, it's kind of like really massive. Let's see how many pips week was that. That's about 173 pip week rejection. That's a lot. So it could also be signaling a possible bullish reversal, but either ways, let's drop down to the daily. Let's see what we have going on there.
Yeah, that looks like it's going to dump for a little bit before coming back up.
Yeah, I do think that as well, which is why I said that we may see this area and a possible break below that area. On the daily, right, I would have said that we have some sort of bearish pattern forming, but then you guys, we talked about trend in the last class. Look at this. We have this high over here, and then we have the low, then we can call this the lower high, correct? And then we have this as the lower low, but look at this price right here.
Higher high.
Exactly, so we
Nah, not
cannot
even.
say for a fact that we're in a downtrend. All right, let's see what do we have here on the daily. Do we have any level I should be taking note of? Also, I would like to adjust this structure over here. I'm going to try my best to adjust that structure over there.
That's a solid structure right there.
Yeah, absolutely perfect one. So I'm actually looking for a daily level, but okay, I think I find one here, but it's not really major. Right here, I see our price like sat on this level. Can you guys see it too? For a bit? And then also last week closed exactly on that level, so it's worthy of being noted. And also price is opening exactly right there and it's trying to be bullish, but I think that price may break below this area for a bit, right? We may see a pullback towards the weekly level before we can find that really big move towards the upside. That's what I think right now. And also, if I'm to use the rectangle, then we can pull up this area towards this side as our supply demand area. So I'm going to change that to the daily, and I'll take this off. Let's see.
A clean chart, yeah.
Okay, I think that's pretty much all on the daily, right? So this is what I'm going to be looking out for on the daily if I to get into this trade right now, right? Let's see the 4-hour time frame. Let's see, we had price jumping up, we had a price jump to open the market, not bad. Okay, so on the 4-hour time frame, I see some need for a correction to the downside for a bit. I see a need for price to pull back for a bit, a correction. Not as though market makers care too much about that thing, especially when they're in the mood to do really crazy things. So I'm going to adjust this for, okay, there's no need to adjust. Actually, it's perfect just the way it is based on our price acted here. I wanted to pull this back towards this level, but then I realized that price has been sitting comfortably on that level, so I'll leave it right there. Now, if in a situation, let's say that we get on the chart tomorrow and we find some bearish confirmation pattern, right, we may take a sell around this level, right, towards this area. Remember I said that it's going to be a scalp, not a long-term trade.
Yeah.
So let's see, entry around here, take profit 100. Let's see where can stop loss be. This was where last, definitely not taking this trade. The risk to reward is not nice.
That's not you. That's not you. 82 pips.
It's just, let's see if I can find something better on the 1-hour time frame. Honestly, it's not looking good. It's not looking good. It's not looking good,
Yeah,
fam.
them kind of pips ain't you at all.
It's just not looking good. And why I think it's not looking good is price may jump up, right, peak out your sell and then return to profit. So really not looking good. But then if in a situation, let's say that we have price move, a clean price action movement, right, then on the lower time frame we can place our stop loss slightly above the rejection, right? If we find something, a clean, remember I said a clean movement, not any candlestick like this, nothing like this. I don't consider this clean enough, right? A clean break.
See a bearish engulfing, or
Yeah, bearish engulfing, like a straight candle, basically a straight candle breaking below here, right, and then proper candles coming to retest here, then we wait for that rejection candle, then we can ride that candle towards the downside with our stop loss slightly above it. Do you understand? So all that being said, if price breaks below here and we find a clean trade, I mean a clean entry, then we can take a scalp towards this area overall TP. But I would say that once price start approaching this area, right, once price start approaching this area, I would say take some profit around here. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And then majorly, the major trade I'm looking forward to would be price coming to retest this weekly level and strongly reject it.
Long.
Yeah,
Long.
exactly. And then I can take the retest of that rejection towards this level right here
Yeah.
for the week. I'm kind of like okay with this type of move for the week. This is about 300 pips. Yeah, I'm good with that. Basically, this is what I think I'm looking out for on EUROAUD. Now, in a situation where we don't see that happen, let's say that bears continue to take control of this price, right, and price flips below this weekly level, then I want to take a retest around here towards this weekly level that we have here. Then we can say, oh cool, sentiment or the trend has now changed, or at least on the lower time frame, not the weekly time frame, because here on the hourly time frame we can nearly draw this as a trend, which I know is a very sharp trend, very sharp angles, but let's still keep it at that. So I think here we go. Actually, this is quite good enough for a buy in a situation where, let's say, the buyers continue to push price up. Then this is a good point of entry in my opinion. And in a situation where, let's say, that sellers take control of price, then we can take some sales at the break of the weekly level at the retest, and then we can hold for more gains here. Now, what would further confirm for me if sellers are actually truly in control of this market would be if they can flip this area, strongly flip this area. Then in a situation where, let's say, you miss an entry around here, you could actually take an entry right here and hold towards this area. You understand? So this also kind of like a good play in my opinion. It's a good play as well.
What news have you got coming out this week?
Let's check.
You got anything else?
I have literally not checked, so let me. Oh boy, Monday 3 p.m. ISM. I hate this news. It's what I call a cheap news. Damn, Tuesday we have my baby girl cash rates. 5:30 in the morning. Damn, baby.
Is that a market mover?
It's a market mover. Now, if this happens the way that I expect or think it's going to happen, what are you loading right now, boy? If this happens the way I think it's going to happen, I think EUROAUD is going to dump. What's the problem? If this actually happens the way I think it's going to happen, I think EUROAUD has that potential to dump for the week. So yeah, now I am more interested in that sell setup around here, the scalp setups towards this area, depending on the type of price action I get between here and there. You understand? So let's see if we have any. You have a few more cheap news, and then NFP on Friday. That's pretty much it for the week.
That's a good week, no? Looks like a lot of red.
Yeah, many cheap red news actually. So next week Wednesday we have official cash rates EURNZD. Okay, cool. We have BOC next week Wednesday. I think this week kind of like looks good.